Drinking water that's fresh, clean, and crystal clear is something many of us take for granted. We might not give it a second thought, but between the source and our tap, a lot happens to make that water fit to drink. Our water may come from Mother Nature, but it's far from pristine. It starts its journey to the treatment plant through a water intake pipe. On the wall of that pipe, about 6.5 feet down, is a 6-inch hole. Covering that hole is a metal grill designed to keep out large debris such as tree branches. The water flows to the pumping station, where it goes through a preliminary screening. A giant revolving screen removes fish, garbage, and grass. Once they remove the debris, a low-pressure pump moves the water into the treatment plant. The untreated water, called raw water, is dirty and smelly. They first add a powerful form of the chemical element carbon, called activated carbon. It absorbs contaminants such as solvents and pesticides. That rids the water of bad taste and odor. From there, the water goes through a series of mixing tanks. The first tank holds a chemical called aluminum sulfate. It acts as a coagulant, a substance that thickens liquid into globs. In the raw water, the aluminum sulfate forms tiny sticky globs called flocks. Bacteria, mud, and other impurities stick to those flocks. Then the flock-filled water moves on to the second mixing tank. The second tank holds a chemical called polymer, which is essential to the next step of the process, called sedimentation. 5 pipes inject the water with superfine particles of sand, called microsand. The polymer coats the sand, making it sticky. The grains of sand then stick to the flocks in the raw water, weighing them down even more. The water then flows into a settling tank, where the flocks, because they're heavier, settle to the bottom. You can see the result in this demonstration. The water is finally clear, but it's far from drinkable because it's still full of bacteria, viruses, and other organic matter. So on to the next step, filtration. The water flows onto the top of the filter, then trickles downward, passing through a layer of anthracite, a type of coal, then through a layer of sand. This filters out any remaining particles, which then flow to the middle. But the water is still teeming with bacteria and viruses, so it has to be disinfected. They add 1.9 milligrams of chlorine for every 4 cups of water, enough to kill off those germs and bugs. Then they add a mineral called silicate to prevent calcium buildup from blocking our water pipes. The treatment plant sends water samples to a government inspector, who continuously monitors the water supply to ensure it meets safety standards. The amount of chlorine remaining in our drinking water is 20 millionths of an ounce per liter. The chlorine gas the plant uses is highly toxic. Should any leak out, emergency teams would have to evacuate a 6-mile radius. So the plant stores the drums of chlorine in a high-security area. It's taken about 45 minutes to turn raw water into treated water. Now, these electric motors will pump it through underground pipes right to your tap.